We're being saved here. We're having some kind of technology issues, and Lily Popova, our pianist, had a sudden opportunity to do something that I told her, go ahead and do it. And so she isn't here, and we thought we were going to play videos, but they're not working. So, again, thank you so much. So we are resilient, and we adapt. And so I welcome everybody. I'm Catherine Rowlee, the lay leader for today. And I will do some announcements first, and I'll be calling our board president, Alan Worley, to give another announcement. So I want to remind you, if you have a joy and a concern, to put it on a little piece of paper if you're here in the sanctuary, or to put it in the chat box if you're on Zoom. And then we'll gather them and we will speak them for everybody in the proper time. And I'll remind you that Reverend Maggie is on vacation. She's in New York, and she'll be gone until, well, through May 15th. So if you have a need, you can, and you need someone to speak with, or you need some help, you can contact our Minister Emerita, Reverend Ellen Livingston, or myself, who is a trained lay minister, Catherine Rowlee. So we're in the directory. Also, remind you that if you need a little connection, a little extra connection, so it's an event on Tuesday evening called Taco Tuesday, and it's a gathering of people. I think Reverend Ellen's sort of going to be running that group. It's on Zoom at 7 p.m. The link is in the announcements. And for those of us who remember and of course know our congregant, Nancy Rutherford, who passed away, we're having a memorial service for her on June 26th. Now I'm going to call Alan up to talk to you about the annual meeting that's coming up.
Good morning. I'm Alan Worley, President of the Board of Trustees, and through the miracles of, I have an agenda for our congregational meeting Sunday, May 22nd at 12 noon here in the sanctuary and also on Zoom. The basic purpose of the meeting is committee reports, elected Board of Trustees officers, committee members and council members for the various positions, and adopt an annual budget for next fiscal year, which leads me to, there are some copies of the agenda on the green table next to the pledge forms. So if you haven't completed a pledge form and would like to pledge, either to continue your membership or to become a friend of this congregation, please fill one out. And Ari will be talking this Sunday. The lesson for the kids, the story is, Are You My Mother? So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and I think I'm to just say that this right here is our thermometer for our spirit level grant. And as you can see, we're almost all the way to the top. So we have almost achieved the ultimate in money that we can give to get a matching grant. We're $1,650 short of our $12,500. And as soon as we reach that, we will be able to start our serious technology overhaul. So this has been wow, okay? So Steve Shirley's been the one who's really done so much work with this, and you are all awesome for having contributed so generously. So that's why this is here. We're almost there. And of course, we'll probably be starting a new one right away. But once So let us enter into a time of worship with the sounding of the bowl. Okay, we sound the bowl 3 times. We sound it once for those who came before, holding today, especially in our hearts, the memories of mothers who are no longer with us. We sound it once for those of us here and now, honoring the mothers who are with us today. And we sound it once for the future, in anticipation of the mothers yet to be. Now, our opening words are an excerpt from a book called When the Drummers Were the Women by Redmond. She was my teacher and mentor for frame drum for many years, and I often heard her do this sort of meditation behind a recording of the pulse of the mother's blood, but I really feel honored to be able to read it to you. She passed in 2013. It is often said that the first sound we hear in the womb is our mother's heartbeat. Actually, the first sound to vibrate our newly developed hearing apparatus is the pulse of our mother's blood through her veins and arteries. We vibrate to that primordial rhythm even before we have ears to hear. Before we were conceived, we existed in part as an egg in our mother's ovary. All the eggs a woman will ever carry form in her ovaries while she is a 4-month-old fetus in the womb of her mother. This means our cellular life as an egg begins in the womb of our grandmother. Each of us spent 5 months in our grandmother's womb, and she in turn formed within the womb of her grandmother. We vibrate to the rhythms of our mother's blood before she herself is born. And this pulse is the thread of blood that runs all the way back through the grandmothers to the first mother. We all share the blood of the first mother. We are all truly children of one blood. And I will light our chalice with these words. Well, our chalices. We light these chalices in honor of the mothers and mothering, for there are none among us who have not been born of a mother. We light these chalices in acknowledgement of the commitment, dedication, and sometimes very hard work involved in mothering. We light these chalices with a deep sense of celebration, respect, and love. And now I will go light them. So we have our big, beautiful, amazing chalice that was a gift from our new minister, and our smaller chalice is made for us by the children of our Calapayan Partnership Church, and they will take it with them when they are sung out. So we will speak our covenant together, and then we will sing Spirit of Life, which you see. Okay. So if you're willing and able and want to, stand, and if otherwise, stand in spirit. Oh, yeah, let me remind, for those,
Read the covenant first.
we'll read the covenant, and when we do Spirit of Life, it is in number 123, but on the back of your hymnal in the back is also the Spanish words. We sing it once in English and once through in Spanish, so thank you. Okay. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve the world in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. And then let us sing Spirit of Life. I'm so grateful for you, Maddie. So at this point is when we would have our children bring forth any donations for the Beta Center, if there are any, if anybody brought some, and then we will sing you out to your classes. If someone would come forward, I guess there's one child, huh? Two? Okay, well, we need to get your chalice and take it, and then yay. We do support the Beta Center, the local food pantry, so don't forget if you're coming out here on a Sunday, go in your cupboard and bring a few cans or something to add to our basket.
Okay, sing that.
Let's go for singing. Oops. Is that little thing still in your order of service, you guys? I don't know, because we didn't get it quite up, but that's okay. Okay, so I have a reading today. It's something that's fascinated me for a long time. It's called, it's about the mother tree. I'm bringing in unusual, different thoughts on the mother. So this is on mother trees, and it's basically research that's was started and carried out under an amazing woman named Susan Simnard. So this is, at first I had written something that was too scientific, and then I found something that distilled it down appropriately. So this is about mother trees. In the spirit of appreciation, let's expand our notion of mother and turn our gaze to another nurturing, supportive, and often underappreciated presence: mother trees. According to the Mother Tree Project, headed by groundbreaking researcher Susan Simard, mother trees are large trees within a forest that act as centralized hubs, supporting communication and nutrient exchange among trees through a symbiotic relationship with a complex network of mycorrhizal fungi. I added that, just so you would know. Mother trees are massive, ancient trees. They are dubbed mother trees because they recognize kin, supply resources, share wisdom, sound alarms, support networks of hundreds of trees, foster deep connections and alliances, and pass their legacies down to future generations. Sound familiar? That's because it is. As strange as it may sound, we have more in common with trees than we think. These are some amazing things that mother trees do. They use their deep roots to draw up water and share it with shallow-rooted seedlings. They detect distress signals in neighboring trees and respond by sending them nutrients. They reduce their root competition to make elbow room for their kids. They pump sugar and other life-saving resources like carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus into the roots of young saplings. They infect saplings with mycorrhizal fungi, pulling them into the supportive embrace of the wood wide web, where life-saving help is available. And speaking of fungi, it's ubiquitous. 1 teaspoon of forest soil contains several miles of fungal filaments, coating every particle of soil and working its way into tiny, tiny crevices that even tree roots can't reach. With its help, mother trees are able to support entire forests, serving as hubs in the interconnected forest web of life. When mother trees are injured and dying, or in their twilight years, they deliberately pass their resources on to their children. While science hasn't determined exactly how they're able to recognize their kin, the implications are clear. By offering support, mother trees ensure that their genetic line will run unimpeded. But mother trees don't just support their own immediate families, or even their own species. Interspecies alliances are common and necessary in the face of threats like insect colonization, tree diseases, deforestation, and now climate-related disturbances like droughts and wildfires. Relationships like those between conifers and deciduous species like birch and Douglas fir are perfect examples of this. When the birch is leafed out, it can shade the Douglas fir, but once it loses its leaves, fir takes advantage of the extra sunlight. That might seem like proof of competition, not cooperation, but underneath the ground, these old friends pass nutrients back and forth throughout the year, sharing the bounty of their seasonal advantages. In drier conditions, mother trees provide the more fragile neighbors with essential carbon, water, and nutrients to keep them alive. Their presence increases seedling survival by as much as 400%. And thanks to the alliances they foster, entire forests are stronger and more resilient against threats big and small. Case in point, deciduous trees have broader leaves that hold more water, contain less resin, and are less flammable than conifers. As a result, their presence in mixed evergreen forests helps to lower the risk of wildfires. But if Darwin is believed, we're all working against each other in a selfish, individualistic drive to win the race against time, right? And with traditional forestry, that theory has established deep roots, affecting how we view trees and by extension how we manage them. While it's certainly true that trees compete, it's also true that they work together, forming deep connections and intricate networks. They lean on each other, sometimes literally, for survival, and band together against big and small threats. So, what can we learn from Mother Trees? Mother Trees remind us of our better nature. They prove that true strength is reflected in our ability to help each other, and that we're at our best when our communities are healthy, our connections are strong, and our resources equitably distributed. They remind us to share when we have more than we need, and to give a helping hand to those who are struggling. Just like our own mothers, from root to sky, they have a lifetime of wisdom and inspiration to share. So, at this time, we'll take our Sunday offering. Your generosity supports and sustains our beloved congregation. We have a basket. If you'd like to come forward, and if you're on Zoom, reminding you that we have a link on our website to pay by PayPal, and also there's good old snail mail. This is our time for sharing our personal joys and sorrows with the congregation. And I just checked in our closet with our Lily Noel Roberts, and there's the only thing that could be, I guess is considered a joy, was that Dawn Moore was feeling joyful that for the time when we'll be supporting our Chalice children again. That was okay? I hope I did that right, Dawn. And then I have a joy from, I guess from you, Steve, right? It says that our Camp de Benneville Pines, who we all dearly love, is celebrating its 60th anniversary next Saturday. Okay, and he's saying that I and the Shirleys will all be there. You will be there, right? And we're all welcome. It's a wonderful way to spend a day. If you need more information about it, I don't know. No?
You have to have a reservation.
Yeah, you have. That's what I was going to say. You have to let them.
Take a COVID test before you go. You have to be on the reservation list.
You have to call the office if you don't get the information on the announcements, because it is detailed in our announcements. So, yeah, that's what's coming. If you haven't been up to de Benneville Pines, this is a wonderful chance to celebrate. We definitely value our camp. Let's take a time of meditation and just take a few minutes to, we have not a lot shared today, but I know in our hearts we're holding many things that we may have chosen not to share. And I know we have many concerns that are global concerns that a lot of humanity is sharing right now. So let's just quiet our minds, take a breath in, and close your eyes if you'd like to. Feel yourself relax and feel yourself centered here on your seat in this safe space. Take a breath, and as you let it out, feel gratitude that you are here. It means that you're in a good place, that you're healthy enough to be here, that you're safe enough to be here, strong enough to be here. How lucky we are. Let us take a moment to send our loving compassion out to all of us who are here together today, knowing that we all carry burdens and sorrows in our heart. And let us take a breath in gratitude for the fact that we are here in community. And let us just share the love that we can all share here together. Let us just honor that. And let us send our loving and compassionate thoughts out beyond the walls of this congregation to the multitudes of beings, all beings on this earth who are suffering right now. Those who are frightened and those who are struggling. And as we send our compassionate thoughts, let's renew in our own hearts our strength of commitment to be helpful and strong for others wherever we can. Let us send our compassionate thoughts particularly today to the people in the Ukraine. And let us send thoughts of gratitude for the millions of people all over the world who are helping the people who are escaping with everything. Not just the people, too, the animals. So many animals are being evacuated from the Ukraine. And let us send our loving thoughts out to all the mothers of the world. Maybe particularly we will think of mothers in Ukraine, but over the entire world, mothers are struggling for the very safety, survival, and health of their own children. And let us just take a moment to send our loving compassion inward to ourselves and honor ourselves, our individual us's. And let's take one moment or two to consciously remember, enjoy, and in gratitude, some moment that you personally hold that involves mothering. Could be your own mothering, mothering you received, mothering you witnessed. Doesn't even have to be mothering of humans. I think of my mother-daddy cat who takes care of all the babies who's ever come to my house. So let's take a moment. So, blessed be. And with this, I'm excited to say that it's time for Jeannie to speak. Jeannie's sort of a mother tree of this congregation for sure. And I'm honored that she chose to be one to speak with us today. I certainly count her among one of my mothers. So, Jeannie Coates.
Well, good morning, and happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day is traditionally celebrated to honor one's mother. It's a day to give her flowers, or candy, or cards, or all three. Maybe also take her out to dinner or brunch. In church, the message is usually about how much she is dearly loved and cherished, and all most well deserved. However, my take this morning is a bit different. I would like to look at motherhood from the inside, what it is to be a mother. Of all the occupations in this world, motherhood is one of the most widespread and most important of all. And yet, the most young mothers usually get is strictly on-the-job training. There are no educational requirements. There are no university courses in mothering. You give birth, and wham, you're a mother. Of course, there are those who adopt, but still the basic training is the same. You're on your own, with only a multitude of books, most of them written by men, and maybe Parents Magazine or others of the same ilk from which to choose. And if you're lucky, common sense advice from your own mother. Then, there you are, infant in arms, ready to face the world together, a daunting perspective fraught with uncertainties as well as anticipation. And you can go from diapers to colic to vaccinations to first days of school to teenage angst, high school graduation, and all of a sudden they're an adult. Time passes pretty fast, and in the beauty of this, there is much to enjoy as well as to dread, perhaps. And the beauty of this is that most of the time it works out just fine. And there are stumbles along the way. Mistakes are made. But usually they are corrected. Personally, I have things that, given the chance, I would have done differently. But I have two wonderful children who, I hope, have forgiven me my mistakes. In 1966, I was 30. 2 months after the birth of my daughter Diana, I wrote a poem to her. And with your indulgence, I share it with you. So new and small, yet you fill my life. I wonder what you'll be when you grow up. But there is time. Now you just eat and sleep. My heart is filled with love and contemplation. Sleeping here within my arms, your baby face is perfect, lashes soft against your cheek. I cannot put you in your crib. Soon you will talk and walk, then school and play, friends and family, bikes and skates, skin knees, and inevitably TV. But for now, I will hold you close, keeping you near to my heart, loving you as only a mother can, grateful for this quiet spell. Time has a way of getting out of hand. The childhood years are over in a flash. May I remember you in every minute from this moment on. Side note, she is now 55, and I still cherish every moment. Sometimes the mantle of motherhood falls on others not usually associated with the role. Fathers who have to step into the breach, as well as aunts, siblings, and other concerned souls. And isn't it a blessing that so many do step in? Therefore, from my viewpoint, motherhood isn't something you just do. It is a state of being, one which once you assume the role, you just are. Compassion, support, caring, and most of all, love. Lots of it, including at times tough love. These are the components. Actually, it boils down to these 4 basic letters: L-O-V-E, love. It sounds simple, yet more difficult and profound than at first glance. Those of you who have the privilege of being mothers, I salute you. Give yourself a silent word of thanks for being who you are. You are a member of a cohort of dedicated souls, providing the most vital of contributions to our world. In closing, I share with you the words of Khalil Gibran from his book, The Prophet, on children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children as living arrows are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite. He bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves the bow that is stable. Of all the advice on parenting, these words have resonated with me the most deeply. I thank you, blessed be.
Thank you, Jeannie. Your words are always like little pearls to me. Well, most of them. But thank you so much. Now, we decided that the song we needed to sing to sort of embody the embodiment of the mothering heart is Loving Kindness. And it's number 1031 in the blue teal hymnal. And, oh, yay. Then the words are also up here. And I always am forgetting because I can't see them right from here. So let us rise as we're willing and able, and let us sing the 3 verses of loving kindness. Meditation. Is this a song? A meditation in song.
You said 3 verses?
Yeah, may I be filled, may. That's definitely the heart of the matter. So, before I extinguish our chalice, I want to really give a big thank you to everybody that was here today and here today. And I would like to really thank Maddie, why am I forgetting your last name? Scully, Maddie Scully, like Vince Scully, okay, who's really made this service happen, and to Jarius on our camera, and Lily Noah Roberts in our closet, who's had to suffer all the stress of this today. And of course to Steve, control room. Closet. No, we're control room. That's a control room. Sorry, Steve. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to reorient on my mind. Okay, and to our people who are providing our fellowship hour treats and coffee for us. So I'm going to extinguish our chalice with our words. We extinguish the flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we're together again, and I will go there and extinguish and then I will say our closing words.
Yeah, you just don't blow that out.
No. And our closing words were given to me by Jeannie Coates. They're dear to her heart, as I think she says them to herself every day. So, let this day be filled with hope and cheer. Let only good and love and joy come near. With thy blessing given and received, may we walk in peace in word and deed. Go in peace, be makers of peace until we meet again. Blessed be.